Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that is currently dancing around his recording studio wearing sandals, socks, and a robe. It's David Cross.
Fa 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 psycho killer.
Hey,
what's going on, dude?
That's some fancy footwork you got there. You're really Toby Kebbling it up.
Yeah, I learned from TikTok.
Yeah. Did the Toby Kebbell go viral?
Well, everyone goes viral on TikTok, you know.
Got it.
I've gone viral several times. I'm very famous in the dancing TikTok. You wouldn't know that. Actually, don't get on TikTok and check either. Okay.
Yeah, you're I don't know how you did it, but you inserted yourself into the background of Casablanca just dancing. And that went huge.
Yeah. Some say I might have ruined it, but I say I enhanced it.
And then you said dance it again, David. That was the thing of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually a really great transition, Mark, because we are potting it again.
Yes. Listen, this is Bloodshot Miss, or Day of the Bloodshot, or Bloodshot Day, or the 1 year anniversary of Bloodshot. And we're back to celebrate it again. We recorded an episode for it last year. We love this movie, and we figured, hey, it needs more support because it's a good movie. So here we are on the 1 year anniversary of Bloodshot, back to talk about why we love it.
Yeah. So I'm going to call it Bloodshot Miss.
Bloodshot Miss.
It's okay if anyone else wants to call it something like Bloodiversary, Bloodshot-iversary. I'm fine with those things. But I want to make this a tradition, an annual tradition of just revisiting one of our favorite movies from 2020, The Hell Year.
And unironically, too, we both love this movie. And this is an underrated picture. And maybe go back and listen to our first episode. I don't want to retread a lot of the things that we talked about. You know, you look back at the reviews for this film, and someone said the fights weren't elegant enough. This is a movie where Bloodshot it's Vin Diesel as a tank, as a human tank. He's not Iko Uwais. This is not going to be that. And then other reviews were hating on, they're like, oh yeah, and Isaac Gonzalez and Vin Diesel have a relationship in it. They fall in love. I'm like, what movie were you watching? They're coworkers.
I don't know.
They're coworkers.
Some of the reviews are real wild. I'm like, your viewing comprehension is not high.
I was on a walk with Megan yesterday, my wife, and she loves this movie as well. And we were talking about the relationship between KT and Vin Diesel's character Ray. And she feels bad for him. This is a guy who just keeps coming back. She has empathy. And she's also a legit badass. And I think once these situations get real, because I don't know, I guess you know what you signed up for. You're taking a dead soldier, inserting nanobites as blood, and having him kill people. But it gets old, and they're just coworkers. I think they just have. Vin's more respectful than that, and it's just watching it. You're just. I don't want it. We did this in our last podcast, so you can listen to that. But this movie is good, David. This is a fresh film.
Yes. So I have some traditions I want to throw by you for Bloodshot Miss and see if everyone else wants to do these. And you can do it today if you're getting this podcast today, and that's the 1 year anniversary. But here are 4 traditions. You tell me what you think about them.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, on Bloodshot Miss, you have to rewatch Bloodshot, preferably with someone who has never seen it before.
Oh, spread the love. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So that one I think we can both agree on. We're good. Number 2, you need to salute your TV or your phone or your computer and say, this is what we're fighting for, boys.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And then
number 3.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go. I don't want to interrupt your 4. I might take one.
Okay. Number 3, you have to eat a flour-based meal.
Yes.
So I actually did this. I ate a bunch of pancakes this morning. You could do biscuits. That's okay. But I did pancakes with strawberry jam in an attempt to mimic blood. And then I paired it with a cherry 7-Up.
Whoa.
Yeah. I would have preferred a Big Red, but I cannot find one near me.
It's amazing. I currently have an espresso pod that is red that I put into my Nespresso. And so it's kind of getting a shot to my blood system with the caffeine, and it was red.
Oh, that counts.
Yeah.
And then number 4, and this is one I would say is not as necessary as the top 3, and that is wearing a black or white sleeveless shirt in honor of Dom.
Absolutely.
/ Vin.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, but you have to start with a shirt, and when he takes off his shirt to go into his tank top, that's when you do it.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta reveal those pythons. And we're a body positive podcast, so everyone's pythons are slamming.
And also I think you need to fill up a big bucket of water and stick your head into it during the swimming scene.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I think that's good. Yeah. You need to put on some cool shades to be,
yeah. How about a tiny helmet or tiny hat, a hat that's clearly too small for you.
Yeah, tiny hat that. And a very large helmet. But all joking aside, I have a question to ask. Okay, since this movie's been out for a year, everyone knows it. It's about this soldier who he dies, but then Guy Pearce wearing a sweater and his team, they put a bunch of nanobites in him, and then they send him out to kill the people who know about this project so there can be no competition. However, in Vin's head, Vin thinks that he's getting off of a job, then he goes and he sees his wife, she gets killed, he gets killed by a dancing Toby Kebbell or whoever they want dead, and then he comes back, then they send him after these people to murder them. And during that, he has a team, so there's Isaac Gonzalez in this film as KT, you have Sam Heughan as Jimmy Dalton. There's a whole squad. Guy Pearce is Dr. Emil Harding. You have a whole squad that works, and they send him out to go murder people. But eventually he gets hip to it, and he goes after the people that put the nanobites in his body.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's a double revenge movie. Because he gets revenge, and then he tries to get revenge again.
I think you called this Wolverine plus RoboCop plus Memento.
Maybe. I mean, I definitely said it's definitely Wolverine, and it's like Wolverine and Captain America and Cable. Like, he's just a robot. He's a Herculean figure. Like, that's when I was thinking about it, I was like this is Vin Diesel's Terminator.
Yes. And he's really nice in it, man. I love his 5 years. He's so good in this movie. I don't care what people say. He owns this film, and I have so much fun with it. Also, I'm going to go off on this rant again, David. I love in this movie when Wiggins, played by Lamorne Morris, who he talked about this, and he was allowed to do either 60-40 or 50-50, depending on the interview, the amount of improv in this role. And he also auditioned for this movie with a British accent, and the director, Dave Wilson, was like, I love it. And he's like, I don't know why you did it, but let's keep it. And so he had to have 3 dialect coaches, and so in the end, he didn't have to have that British accent. And Dave Wilson doesn't know why he auditioned for it with a British accent. Actually, Lamorne Morris didn't just send in a cell phone video. Him and his friend filmed the scene and did blocking, and then edited it and added some effects, and then sent it into Dave Wilson. And he got the job really quick for this role, which makes me really happy.
Him. Yeah, that's great. That's so great.
And so he's improvising, and he sets up Ray. He actually gets Ray disconnected from Guy Pearce and his crew. Ray's about to get into a sports car. Wilford Wiggins says, no, get in this muscle car. There's no electronic parts. They can't track you. Don't use your cell phones. But earlier in the film, when he had saved him, Wilford goes, hey, why don't you just say thank you to me? How about thank you? And then once he sets up Ray goes, thank you, Wiggins. And then he says it 3 times in the film. He keeps, so, Lamorne Morris, Wilford Wiggins, just, hey, please say thank you. The rest of the film, Ray says thank you. It's such a tiny little moment, but I love it.
Yeah, it's great. You mentioned that to me in our discussions prepping for this, and it led me to think that this is a softer role for Vin Diesel than you would expect. And I know that's a wild to say, but Ray Garrison is more cuddly than Dom and Calder and his character from Pitch Black.
Oh, yeah.
He's the softest one of the 3, but he's still a badass.
He's a nice guy, and he has these genuine emotional moments. Just, I don't know. I like his interactions between him and KT. She's obviously acting, but I think they're really good together. And also, I think it's cool that whole stupid beef between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, when Isaac Gonzalez got cast for Hobbs and Shaw, he's like, yeah, absolutely, take it. It's awesome. Go. I want you to blow up. So he had no problem with her appearing in a Dwayne Johnson movie. Ugh. Yeah. And also, I just want to say this before I forget. Lamorne Morris, when they were at the premiere, Vin walked up. Vin was supposed to go talk to everybody. Vin stopped, gave Lamorne's mom a gigantic hug, and just hugged her, just to be a nice guy. Because he's like, oh yeah, I love your son. You're great. And then he went up and announced the movie. And also, Lamorne said they were in South Africa, and he and Vin just went for a tiny walk, but it turned into a 45-minute hike with the 2 of them. And they were just talking about life and, what's going on in the world. And Lamorne Morris is just thinking, I'm in South Africa right now, Cape Town. on a coastal, beautiful road on a hike with Vin Diesel, and we're just chatting about life. He's like, this is absolutely beautiful where I'm at right now. So that makes me happy too that Lamorne and Vin just took nice hikes on the set of Bloodshot.
I do want to get into a little bit of the Rock / Vin Diesel feud that was, because apparently it's not.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it right now. What I'm really interested in doing is talking about like why we like this movie, at least for my own perspective, because I've thought about this for the last couple weeks, knowing that we're going to do this podcast. And I went back and listened to our first podcast. I think what it came down to was that it meets its own expectations. It's not trying to be more than it is. We talked about that ad nauseum previously. But one of the things that I didn't realize until recently was that I liked it because I didn't know the character. So what I mean by this is that when I have been watching these MCU and DCEU movies, I know all the characters across the board. I have read these comics. I've seen the cartoons. I am fully invested and steeped in the universe. So I basically know where the storyline's going. There might be a few things that surprise me, but I'm never really that surprised. With this one, I didn't read any of the comics prior to watching the first movie. I just knew the character existed, and that was it. And so I went in blind, and I just got to sort of ride a roller coaster, and it was sublime. I'm going to couch that saying, since then, I've read the comic books, which may have been a mistake. They're actually very good, but it has ruined me for the future movies.
Oh, no.
I didn't realize this until after I read the comics. Like I read the comics. So I read the 2012 run, which is the Valiant Universe's reboot. And I've read the first 13 issues. They're pretty good. They're way better than I thought they would be. But I was like, oh, what am I? Like, I got done and I was like, oh, I may have spoiled myself for future movies.
Oh, no, just because you said the character's a tank in the graphic novels, right? Or the comics, just an absolute monster.
Yeah, so some of the differences, just slight differences. The comics, at least the comic version I read, so remember this came out in the 90s, so I'm reading the reboot version. They're way more violent. Like he's just constantly getting ripped apart and grown back together, and the imagery is definitely R-rated. He is sort of a put upon hero. He's stronger than a normal person, and he is a badass, but everyone he's going up against is way more badass than him.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that. That's what you want.
Yeah, so he's just constantly getting wrecked across the board. Some other differences that I thought were really interesting. There's more of a check on his powers. So in this version, he needs protein to heal. And this is wild and weird, but there's several scenes in this run where he's just like, I have to go kill and eat a cow. It's like, okay, like he needs that protein. And then the other thing is that his nanites speak to him and are semi-autonomous.
Like Venom type stuff.
Yeah, it's much more like Venom, like Upgrade, probably very close to Upgrade, actually. And I find that interesting as well.
Oh, I love Upgrade, but I guess Venom was around before Bloodshot, and they talked to him. So I guess it's a borrowed idea, but they work on their own because there are all these little nanobots in them.
Yeah. What did you think about my realization that I have spoiled myself for a lot of these comic book movies?
Well, that's a great question. They have announced a sequel, and I hope they make it. They should make it, because this movie's $45 million. Make it $50 million, and you'll make your money back. There's no reason not to make another one of these. They're cheap. And okay, real quick, I just want to say before I forget, I'm very happy that the VFX company, Weta, and all that crew, they're on the short list for Academy Award nominations. Which there's 10 of them, 5 will get picked, but that's amazing that this movie might get nominated for an Oscar. That makes me so happy on a $45 million budget. But yeah, I guess to wreck it, when I was young, I read X-Men. I was a big X-Men guy. And you have those runs in Uncanny X-Men 280 through 290 where Bishop comes and Cable, and there's some truly horrific imagery in them. And people get their heads blown off. You have the relationship between Rogue and Storm. And for me, when the new X-Men movie came out, I just looked at it as another run of X-Men. So I didn't see myself going, this isn't what I want. This isn't what I'm used to. I just thought to myself, hey, this is fun. Now we get another world of X to the comics, because I was just a big X-Men fan. So I haven't read the Bloodshot comics, and I should for next year. I'll do that so we can talk about it. But I guess this is just a different PG-13 world. And the characters are so likable that I guess you just got to look at it as a limited run of Bloodshot.
Yeah, I can see that. And I guess another thing that really, another thing related to not spoiling is that, like, there's a cottage industry right now around spoilers and just dissecting anything and everything actors say about MCU movies. None of that exists around Bloodshot.
None.
Like, there's none. There's absolutely no way I'm going to get spoiled at all. like the most spoiler is going to be if I watch the trailer.
In the trailer,
so that's added to it.
In the trailer for WandaVision, she wears a Fog Hat shirt. Fog Hat is in Dazed and Confused. That means that Wooderson is going to be the villain in WandaVision season 2.
This is a sidebar, but I really couldn't stand the just breathless theorizing and overanalysis of WandaVision this last couple of weeks. I think the show's great. I love the show, but I have gone ham blocking accounts on my social media for just the slightest infractions of it.
that in that scene, WandaVision takes 10 steps, and if you know that's the 10 rings, it's like, wait, what? But I mean, people read it, I guess, and people love to do that. But yeah, you're right. There's none of that around Bloodshot. It's just, and also you can't really spoil Bloodshot either. Vin Diesel gets an well, yeah, you know what? This would have been spoiled for me if I knew that the beginning wasn't real. Because that was so clever. When you learn that he has the cow killer, which is in No Country for Old Men. So I guess you could have spoiled this for me to a certain extent. But I don't know. Real quick. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
David. When you first watch this movie, when he meets back up with his wife and they have their sex scene and everything, you're feeling a little like, oh no, what's going on here? This is, I don't know about this. But then in hindsight, when you know the whole plan and the plot, it makes it so much better. Does that make sense to you? Do you think that turned off people in the beginning and then they just clicked off their brains and didn't pay attention anymore?
Yeah, I think it absolutely did. Luckily, I was on board for either. can't dissuade me. What I would say is that the beginning of the film, there is a slight like greenish tint that makes it appear like a different format than the rest of the movie. Especially that first like battle scene, the edges of the screen are sort of greenish blurry, and I didn't notice that until my second time through. So at that point I was like, oh, they tried to hint that this wasn't real, but they didn't want to make it avert.
I still haven't noticed that.
I mean, it's very slight. It's very, very slight.
Oh, I love that.
And maybe, but I think if they would have done like just a couple of weird things in it, like randomly have a screen jump or a skip in the tech, that would have maybe better set people's expectations. Or like you have someone start and they just hit a start button and you don't see who it is, like just like a robot hand. Because you're right. I think it really messed with people's heads and didn't put them in a right mindset for the rest of the film.
Do you want to know what took me out of it a little bit during the rewatch?
What?
So we're currently on Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. We are covering Deep Blue Sea 2 now. And in the beginning of that movie, there are these shark finners, and one of them is played by Tamer Berjak, who is the mercenary who gets killed by Ray in the beginning of the film when he wants the helicopter. Oh. And they filmed in Cape Town, which is where he lives. But since I've been spending so much time, actually, the dock where they shoot, where out the pier, that's in Deep Blue Sea too, actually. It's such a beautiful area, holy moly. It just took me out because he gets killed in the beginning of Deep Blue Sea 2, which I love the Deep Blue Sea world, and then he gets killed by Vin Diesel, who I'm a huge fan of. And he's also in Dread getting killed. This guy gets killed in some of my favorite movies. So I just had to throw that out there because I was like, my guy from Deep Blue Sea 2 is in this movie. And then he gets wiped out. But I'm glad he's getting roles. So that took me out of it. And Vin's helmet. Helmet,
Vin's helmet's a little weird.
That's the one. Yeah. I hate hating on it, but that helmet doesn't look right to me.
Yeah. So I have a question for you about Vin Diesel as an actor in this role. Do you think that any like other actors could have done this? Because like when I think about Bloodshot, I think it's a perfect vehicle for Vin Diesel. And what I mean by this is like the action is sort of one directional. It's like you point him towards something and he goes and he just takes a bunch of damage. He doesn't have to be fast. He doesn't have to be quick. He has to be, as you said previously, a tank. Like, are there other actors, do you think, who could have done this?
It's a great question. What's interesting is you never. What I like about Vin in action scenes, I never feel like he's putting on an air of toughness. Maybe I'm just so used to Vin being tough in movies. So you believe that he could do all that. And there is an interesting openness to his character, which adds to it. And he does get beat up a lot. So is there another actor? Okay. So the way I see Bloodshot's a tank, correct? So he can't Jack Reacher it.
Yeah.
And as much fun as you have with the first Jack Reacher film, Tom Cruise is much smaller than the actor. So I'm trying to think of someone who is big and kind of burly, right? We're thinking of a big old character. This is random, and it's a Too Fast, Too Furious poll, but Cole Hauser in Yellowstone is an absolute just brick, and he has an interesting sentimentality to his character. He's real likable, but he's a murderer. So I think Cole Hauser now, beefy Cole Hauser, could maybe pull this off. But I don't know if he could be the interesting. What makes his character work is he's silent, but he's a different type of silent than Bloodshot. So I don't.
It's hard. It's hard. And here's my thing. Like, I think a lot of other actors who were given this role would have tweaked the dialogue to make Bloodshot quippy, right? Make him funny, or try to make him funny. But that's not the character. The character is essentially a put upon dude who's just like, I guess I'm gonna walk through this gunfire because I have to. He doesn't really want to do it. And I started thinking about it, and I kind of think Ben Affleck could do it, like beefy Ben Affleck, because he's big.
Whoa.
And he's not like a martial arts dude. He's not lithe. Yeah, I think it'd be a really interesting role for him.
And when he says thank you, I don't think he would do so with a smirk on his face. So when Ray says thank you to Lamorne, he's not pleased with himself. He listens and he says it. I could see Ben Affleck doing that, but it has to be beefy Ben Affleck, like the way back Ben Affleck, or Batman v Superman. No, that's a good poll. That's an interesting poll.
Yeah, and then also related to this role, and particularly Vin, is like, I started thinking about this movie in terms of marketing. It led me down this rabbit hole of thinking about how there are only so many actors out right now. If their name is attached, I would go see that movie, regardless of what it is. And Vin Diesel is one of those. And it feels like that type of actor doesn't really exist anymore. And the ones that we do have are all older. So it's like, Nick Cage does a movie, I'm going to go see it regardless of what it is, because it's going to be wild. Vin Diesel does it because it's like, he sort of hits my sweet spot of action and like camp combined. Mila Jovovich, I would definitely go see anything she's in.
Walton Goggins is one of those for me.
Walton Goggins is a great actor who doesn't get enough respect.
Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is someone I watch, but no one else does. I'm weird in that regard. Yeah,
but it's sort of like he is one of those actors who's like, if his name's attached to it, he's the main draw. It's not the story or whatever it's in it. He is the draw to the film.
Yeah. No, it's who else?
Keanu Reeves.
Emily Blunt.
Potentially, yeah.
I liked her a lot in Wild Mountain Time. Michael Pena. I just keep saying people, but no, you're right. It's, for me, look, we bought this movie for whatever price it was when it went on video. I just, how much is it? $30? Bought. Like, it's one of those no second thought purchase for like when a Vin Diesel movie comes out. Like, I own all of his movies, so that's an interesting point. And what do you think it is about him that we like?
So this is sort of touching on what I wanted to talk about, The Rock versus Vin Diesel. And so I'll try to talk about Vin a little bit here. So what I like about Vin is, like, one, he seems authentic in himself as an actor. His roles aren't always very authentic. So like, he gives off this faux masculine persona that is camp And I like that. But him as a person, I also like, because it seems like he gives people chances. He likes the material he's working on. He takes legitimate chances in his work as well. This is something I don't think people give him enough credit for. He does R-rated action movies. You know how rare that is now? Yeah.
Very rare.
So yeah, I mean, like the Fast and Furious, most of them are PG-13, but like Pitch Black is R. All the Pitch Black stuff's R. This could have easily been R, and I kind of wish it was, but that's okay. But he does interesting stuff.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry, go for it.
I was just saying that's why I like him, because he has this, like, he's in on the joke of what he's producing, is what I feel like is happening when I see him. He knows that he's not this larger than life, masculine, early 2000s character. And so he's like a little bit of winking at the screen, and he has enough talent to pull it off.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he pulls off the wink. He can do that. And I think there's more of an openness to him as well. Mm-hmm. So as much as I love the 90s, 80s, Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wesley Snipes, all that, I like the openness to him in a lot of his roles. It kind of reminds me of JCVD a little bit. There's a weird openness to a lot of JCVD's characters. He's like a sensitive dude. And I see that in Vin as well. And I also like that Vin he gives people chances. I love that the finale of this movie, it's Lamorne Morris as a British hacker who had just gotten off of what, Game Night, but also a long run on New Girl. You have Lamorne Morris, and then you have Isa Gonzalez, who, yeah, she was really cool in Baby Driver. I'm really happy that she was in I Care a Lot. But those are our three heroes. You have Vin, Isa Gonzalez, and Lamorne Morris. And Nathalie Emmanuel of the Fast franchise says that he's very open. He wants to bring in diverse groups of actors. He wants James Wan to direct. He wants F. Gary Gray to direct. He wants Justin Lin to direct. I like how he's inclusive with this casting. He gives a lot of opportunities to people who don't normally have those opportunities. He pursues geeky pursuits. I mean, The Last Witch Hunter is the ultimate geeky movie, and I dug it. And
we're gonna do that, Mark. We'll get to it eventually, but that's one I have on my list that I really, really want to do.
Yeah, he's just I don't know what. And okay, I'm gonna go off on this, and we're gonna have to do it eventually. But for me, the whole beef with Dwayne Johnson, we weren't there. We don't know what's going on. We just know what he said about Vin being late and not showing up. But this is the same thing about the Blade franchise. So Wesley Snipes builds Blade 1 and 2. He is one of the biggest. He really helps kick comic book films into the next world with Blade, and Marvel got helped out a lot from it. The problem is, Blade is a super quiet, cool character. But in the third one, they bring in motor mouths and young kids who talk all the time to be on screen with a guy who's barely audible. So it's just a weird mixture. And then Patton Oswalt came out and gave him crap about being in character. But Blade went on, I think, Conan or Letterman in character as Blade. So all these people are giving him crap about being Blade, but he had been doing that for 2 films. And he was portrayed to be the bad guy when he's the person who carried the franchise through those films and into Blade Trinity. In the Fast and Furious, that Vin came back in the 4th one. He wasn't there for 2 and 3, which I love. I don't love that he wasn't in them, but I love both those films. The 4th one was a success with Justin Lin directing. Then they said, hey, let's bring in Dwayne Johnson. Vin Diesel said, let's bring in Dwayne Johnson for this role. Because Dwayne, he had a good run, but he wasn't on the best run when he made this movie. He wasn't this is what made him a global superstar. This is what helped him. Let's say help him. It didn't make him. And so you have Vin bringing him in, and then they have this issue together. But it's still Vin's franchise. And then they went off and made a new movie with Dwayne Johnson. And I just see that as a lot of disrespect. I don't know anything about the characters or the behind-the-scenes stories, but I don't know. I could see Vin's annoyance. Like, this is his baby. He brings people in to complement the movie. He gives them chances, and then he's portrayed to be the bad guy. But I read about Lamorne Morris. Isa Gonzalez is a huge fan of his. Jeff Davis was a huge fan of his in all the comments. So Nathalie Emmanuel, he flew to her birthday and surprised her and sang to her in front of a bunch of people like a couple of years ago. And everything you hear,
oh God,
everything you hear, people just love this guy. He's been really good for a lot of people. And I don't know. I hate the feud because you have this guy out there who's making different stuff with diverse casts, diverse directors, giving people chances, and then he's portrayed to be the bad guy, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's something to be said about Hobbs and Shaw quasi derailing the Fast and Furious franchise. Like, imagine, like, like it feels like they were building a bunch of momentum for the main franchise portion of it, and so essentially the Rock's movies slowed it down, sidestepped it for a little bit. And I mean, I like that movie too, but I do see the annoyance there, and I am also a little annoyed. But I guess I guess we can transition into sort of the talk about Vin and The Rock as sort of their personas. So over the last year, I've becoming more and more hesitant of accepting The Rock, and I know that's crazy to say because I usually was a really big Dwayne Johnson stan, but I had this realization that like I feel like Dwayne Johnson buys what he's selling, you know, and
Yeah.
and Vin is like, I get that this is kind of funny and like, but not Dwayne Johnson. He's completely serious about everything he's talking about. And I also think we've hit Dwayne Johnson's saturation point, where it's just too much stuff going on at once, and that he's either very close to or has already jumped the shark. Like with the number of just media he's in, like his Young Rock TV show, which I'm sure is pretty awesome, but when you look at it in the whole, it's just like too much Rock. I can't take this much of you. Hopefully that made sense. It was a little meandery.
No, I mean, just you're talking about sort of peak saturation of Dwayne Johnson, and I get it. I think I'm still a fan of his, but I'm just much more so a fan of early, like the rundown Dwayne Johnson, where yes, he can beat up 7 football players with no problem, and he can beat up an army of people at the end, but he loses fights to Ernie Reyes Jr. He's funny. He's not afraid to look stupid. Like he's hanging upside down and his face is swollen and like, get away from me, monkey. He's vulnerable. In Fast 5, he loses a fight to Vin Diesel. He loses that fight. And then you move to San Andreas or Rampage, where he flies every vehicle known to man. Everybody's afraid of him. One punch KOs everybody, can fight monsters. I mean, people have been doing this for years, decades, since cinema started, just being this amazing hero. But it just feels the fallibility's gone with a lot of Dwayne Johnson's characters. And I like him in Jumanji because he's cheeky. He has fun with it. He's flexing his pecs. He's, oh man, like, look, check out these biceps. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is neat. Oh, look at my powers. And that's fun because if someone morphed into Dwayne Johnson, it'd be quite the experience. So I totally get, I like how they deal with him in the Jumanji movies, the more open. But in like Hobbs and Shaw, which I love, I own it, I've talked about it, it's fun. It's just, he and Statham are just so, they're just immortals. They're superheroes. I don't know. I don't like that kind of thing. But in this one with Vin Diesel, it gives him some weaknesses. I mean, his wife just says, listen, I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay. Get away from me. He loses out on that.
You screwed up, bro.
Yeah. I didn't want you to go. I know you always came back, but I didn't want you to leave. And it's just, he's kind of played for a fool in some of this. And because of his nanobites, he's allowed to be a berserker. And I just think it's more open. He has a more vulnerability. And when he says thank you, I believe it. I don't see that from a Dwayne Johnson character. And Dwayne Johnson works so hard. That guy's probably wakes up at 4 a.m. every morning to lift weights and produce 40 different things. I mean, this guy hustled, and he started off in the wrestling ring. He put his body on the line, and I think everything he has, he's earned. And even his tequila brand was the #1 selling tequila in the world when it first started. It broke every record. So this is the guy who's earned everything that he's had. I like him better when he's fallible. And I don't see him being in this movie and pulling off what Vin did.
Yeah, and what I would say to that is that The Rock is an incredible worker. He really is. But he also, it feels like he doesn't take chances. And what I mean by that is like he hasn't done a true R action movie. Like,
well, did Faster. He did Faster, which
he did Pain and Gain.
Oh yeah, so he did. So I think his big chances are. Sorry to interrupt. My bad.
Yeah,
I got hyped up. But Southland Tales, he tried something different. Pain and Gain, he tried something different, and Faster, and none of those were really successful.
Yeah,
and I think if those would have been successful, I think he would have gone that route. But then he did Game Plan, which was huge, and he started doing other PG-13 movies, and they were big. So I think he's leaned away from those types of roles because they don't really. It's about the brand, and those don't help the brand.
Yeah, I just, what I want from him, I'm just craving, is I want him to take a chance on something. and really like lean into it. Like what I keep thinking about is I don't remember what movie this was, but there's a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger walks past The Rock's character in a movie.
Oh, The Rundown.
The Rundown, and it's like a purposeful setup to make The Rock the next giant action hero. And I'm going to be frank, I don't think he lived up to it, or he hasn't yet. Like I still enjoy a lot of what he does, but he doesn't. He's just, it's not the same. Like The Rock is honestly more of a comedian, frankly, I think, than like a true action hero.
He's good in Central Intelligence. He's weird in that one. I like my favorite roles of his are. You're right. My favorite roles of his are when he gets weird or when he's fallible. But I also think it's a different time. Movies like Commando. Well, I guess there is John Wick. But I think he's done I think he's had to pivot a few times, but he has learned to play to his strengths. And there's really nothing wrong with that because he's an empire right now. But if you look at Tom Cruise, he did Magnolia and Tropic Thunder. When you look at Brad Pitt, there's 12 Monkeys. There are these funky roles. I mean, don't even get me started on Nick Cage. So there are a lot of these actors take these really, like Wild Mountain Thyme with Emily Blunt. That's bonkers. You go out there and you take chances. And I think since he's such a brand, he's such a role model that, maybe he doesn't want that. So, but he's also doing great work for charities and has his TV shows. And so I think he's thinking, keep the brand alive, which I guess we can't fault because Vin is set, right? Vin kind of owns Universal right now because whenever a Fast movie comes out, they make $1 billion. So Universal, they could say, all right, we'll give you another Last Witch Hunter. We'll do this. And companies
throw you some bones.
Yeah, exactly. And he's earned it. So I guess he's able to take more chances, but so could The Rock. But we're not going to see him in it. The Rock is never going to do Interview with the Vampire. He'll fight vampires. So I guess he's just a different actor and playing towards his strengths.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to come off like I hate The Rock. I don't. It's just, I've been circling around this idea of just like peak Dwayne Johnson. And I can't, there's just something about it that bothers me. It's like, well,
there's a saturation point. There really is.
There is, but it's also like toxic positivity. It's like repressing that negative things happen. And that kind of feels like watching his films are always like this mild light, like everything's great. We're going to really pull through this if you work tough and you work hard. And I'm like, yeah, not really. That's not, it's okay to have other emotions.
No, you're right. But it's there though. I've seen in Pain and Gain, he got truly weird. In Southland Tales, he got really weird. So, I mean, Central Intelligence maybe too. We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see. You know what, yeah. Mark? We don't want to make this a Dwayne Johnson podcast on the Vin Diesel show.
So how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will get refocused and talk about Bloodshot. How's that sound?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and I have some questions for you, David.
Okay, let's do it.
Do they rebuild the gym every time?
Oh my god!
Because
they have to, but they can't, like. Do you know how long it takes for a plaster to set?
Oh yeah. So
you would think they would direct them towards a different wall, a different load-bearing wall or something.
I think they have to reset that thing every time.
I didn't think about that, but that's wild.
I was watching this and I was just thinking, wait, they're gonna have to rebuild this. And another thing, they made a big deal about saying that Wiley Wiggins spent $812 in room service. He's been locked in a basement for a very long time. $812 in a 5-star hotel is nothing.
I thought that too. Oh my god, I'm so glad you brought that up. I was like, that's like 4 meals.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not even splurging.
Yeah. That's 1 bottle of champagne. So it's not that bad. And then the movies he was watching, whatever, he was in a basement. Who cares? And so when they said 812 and they made a big idea about it, I just thought to myself, yeah, that's not that much. And also, has your attitude towards not attitude, but has your KT, how has she changed in the last year for you?
I like KT more, and I already liked her.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm like, oh yeah, this is like that fight scene with the collapsible baton, pretty badass.
Yeah.
I thought it was badass the first time, but I was like, this is really good. She's a good character because she's clearly doing something because like otherwise she would die, and so she's being forced to do all this stuff, and she has a, we're going to say this word again, vulnerability to her that's refreshing.
And you know what? You nailed exactly what she said. So Isa Gonzalez loves this movie. She's so happy. She said, she's so happy that she's the first Mexican superhero. She wants to really get that going. She wants more roles for people. She talks about when she grew up, it was just Salma Hayek acting. And that's kind of who she had as a role model. And she's really proud of this. And what she said was about her role, and that's exactly what you just said, where she didn't feel like a damsel in distress. And then she didn't feel like a bad chick. You know, in these movies where you're just defined by being angry. And then she said that she's not the strong female character who's so buff and insane that there's no she just didn't want to be that. So she said that her character is very capable and strong and powerful, but she's emotional. And she feels bad for Diesel's character. But she also goes and beats people up. So it's not, hey, pup. It's not an issue. I don't know. I like that about her character. So she's not the gruff person, but then she also has these emotions because, like you said, she had she was a diver. She couldn't breathe anymore. And Guy Pearce goes, when you signed up for this, that was the deal. But you're dying, David. Hey, David, you're gonna die.
It's not much of a deal. Yeah. This is under pressure.
Listen, you're gonna be dead in 10 minutes, and I can put a brand new titanium unobtainium heart into you, and you will be fine. But you have to work for me, or you'll be dead. One or the other.
I guess I'm working for you.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, in the beginning, it's fine. Let's build these nanobites to sell to the highest bidder. It doesn't matter who. Many will die, but we're just going to get rich, and war happens anyway. But when they start killing people that they worked with, when they start using a guy who has emotions and has a conscience and feels sadness and every emotion, I think that slowly weighs on her. So yes, she is loyal to Guy Pearce, but also seeing all this changes her a little bit. So it's not anything new that for a character to change over time towards what they're doing. So I buy it more and more that her character would feel empathy towards this man, but then she's still a badass who walks with grenades and throws them into a data center and blows them up and looks cool while doing it. So it's
wearing sweatpants.
Yeah, while wearing sweatpants. But I dig it, and she was really proud of it. She loved the role, and she was so happy to get it. And she said she worked. I just love what she said and what you said. She reminded me of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman a little bit, where complete badass but also open and emotional, not like just a total badass or does that make sense, or a total damsel in distress. And I like that.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a well-rounded, three-dimensional character.
It's just, dude. Okay, I know I keep saying this, but it's so cool. Lamora Morris, Isa Gonzalez, and Vin Diesel heading their own film. Give me that. Like, I like all three of these people, and it's such a unique thing. I'm tired of watching the same things over and over and over again. I want these three on a road trip blowing up people. It'd be great.
I mean, maybe that's Bloodshot too. We'll get there.
Yes, I hope so. Please. And how do you feel? So, Guy, you know what? I got a good laugh out of this in regards to Guy Pearce's character, Dr. Emil Harding. So he hires all these people, and then they're all kind of a pain in the butt. So his coder borrows open source code for Bloodshot, which is insane. He has all these weird stereotypical killer ideas. He's stuck with Jimmy, who's just a nightmare, kind of an alpha guy, murderer. I mean, he says he killed Osama bin Laden. He was part of that team, and now he's playing second fiddle to someone who's more powerful than him. So he has a brat on his hands. Tibbs is chill. And then he's also dealing with KT not wanting to do this. I just think he's funny. Everything starts falling apart for him a little bit. It's interesting his hiring process. Just who he got.
He doesn't have a very good one.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really that rang out to me the fourth time or fifth time around, just watching his crew fall apart around him. It made me happy.
Yeah. We can talk about Jimmy Dalton a little bit. I guess this is my third watch, he stands out a lot more than the first two watches, and he has my favorite line of the film, which is, "What a relentless dick."
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is, like, it's true, because, like, Bloodshot, like he's a missile, he is relentless, and he's a dick.
It's jealousy speaking right there.
Yeah.
You know when someone's better than you at something, you're like, oh, what a jerk.
Did you write down the 5 things that you noticed, or are we doing that right now?
Yeah, oh, let's do it. Can I drop my first one on you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I never got the 6 inches joke until.
Really?
So there's a scene where there's a coder, and the coder who works for Emil Harding, he does this program where when Toby Kebbell kills Vin Diesel's wife, or Ray's wife, he sticks a cow killer in there that has a 6-inch thing. And I didn't catch that in the beginning when Toby Kebbell says, "Can you handle all 6 inches?" So later on, when KT says, "And 6 inches isn't that big," and everyone goes, yeah, she's right. And then he asked later Emil about having some augmentation. I was like, why is there a penis joke in this movie? But then I learned in the beginning the 6 inches gag, and it tied it all back to each other. So that's because I never understood it. I'm like, why? I was like, why did she say that? But then I realized that was part of the code. So that was it.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny one. So I noticed there's a meta commentary running through this film about Vin Diesel's age as an aging action hero.
Oh, what'd you read?
No, I mean, there's just like a bunch of lines like Dalton calls him old man. Yeah, and it's just sort of these lines of like, Vin Diesel is not that old, and most of the action in this film is him digitized, or he is, 50 something. So it's like, it's pretty funny, like when you realize that Vin Diesel is allowing himself to be poked fun at.
Yeah, no, that's and not a lot of people do that. They make fun of him in this movie, and he gets dumped by his wife.
Yeah, he does.
5 years. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say that because I never picked up on how he said 5 years the first time I watched it. But when she says 5 years, that's a good line reading. He sounds really hurt and open and vulnerable. And 5 years. It's good. It's a good scene, and that's my number 2 because he sells that. There's an openness to him, and I dig it.
So then the next one for me is just pain. Does Bloodshot feel pain?
No, I don't think Bloodshot. I don't think he does. Right? There's no pain.
I know at the very beginning they cut his hand and he's like, "What up? What's that, Doc?"
Yeah.
But then he just doesn't feel pain for the rest of the movie, and I don't know if I want him to feel pain or just keep going with him being a tank. I have to think on that one.
I love that line. "What's up, Doc?" Like, oh, come on, Doc. All right, then my number 3 is I had this epiphany while watching a flower fight. These mercenaries, who are presumably the best that money can buy, drove through a tunnel. Now, I understand that it's probably the quickest route, and they were overconfident. Toby Kebbell's character knows what Bloodshot is. So I would just say, listen, it's going to take us an extra hour, but we need to not be trapped in a surface where there's a flower truck potentially there to kill us. And it's not... Listen, I've never been a mercenary, David. Neither of you, which I think. You're kind of dangerous.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's no... this bothers me. They're not a great team. They should just put the car in reverse, and Toby probably could have gotten out of there. But yeah, that's mine. That's my number 3.
It's a great scene, but also the setup's weird. So the third thing I noticed was Dr. Emil Harding's plan. It is so overly complicated. And why didn't he just program himself to be one of Bloodshot's friends and be like, you need to go do this, and like get rid of, you don't have to do all this like other stuff. It's very complicated.
He could have hired just a SWAT team or a sniper.
I don't know. It's just like, okay, because he has to wake up and explain to him every time. It would have been easier if he would have been like, if Ray woke up, recognized Dr. Harding, he's like, what am I doing here? He's like, well, you've been enhanced since you were killed. And like, it would solve all the problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a great point. Do they own that skyscraper too, or do they rent some floors?
That's a great question. I would imagine they own it because it feels like the type of bad guy who would own his own skyscraper.
Man, that's crazy. What a huge building. Oh man. All right, so let's see. I'm on my 4th.
Yeah.
All right, so I talked about one of those earlier with the $812 bill because that's the first time I ever thought about that. But I don't want to go back to that one. So let me go through my. Oh, you know what it is? We talked about this, but I always liked the special effects in this movie. But when I learned that it was on the short list for the Academy Awards, the scene where Guy Pearce meets with Ray on the South African Cape Town pier, the docks, and they render it into the set that they had talked in and where he was. That's wonderful VFX. That is, for $45 million, that is some really excellent stuff right there. I love the look of that. And it deserves its spot in the short list. But I had liked it, but I never had the jaw-dropping moment. So yeah, the scene where they talk and they build the world around him, it's beautiful. I love it.
And then my next one is Tibbs. And for anyone who can't remember his name, he's the blinded, I don't know, security guard who can see everything. He is by far the most impressive character in this film. By far. Like, his powers aren't really that great, and yet he's jumping everywhere. He takes Bloodshot out, like, by far the most. He's making the most of what he has. Like, that whole fight scene on the elevator when he's jumping around and doing all that stuff. He's just a regular dude. He's not super enhanced. So that was pretty cool. And then when he died, I was very sad. I'm like, oh, like, he clearly didn't want to be doing this, but he was doing it because he wanted to be able to see. And then Dalton killed him, which I guess heightens the how evil Dalton is.
I was so mad because think about it. You've been blinded by I think an explosion, shrapnel, like a IED, and someone says, "I'll give you your sight, but you have to work for me." That's tough. I mean, I guess rather than being dead, but that's a tough thing to have right there. And there's a warmth to the guy. And he seems really world weary. He seems quite bored with it. He knows there's one mission left, but he also knows if he doesn't do it, he'll never see again. And he's just stuck. So it gives him the most character.
Yeah, he's sort of the foil to KT. Like, KT decides to stand up for it and try to get away, and he decides to roll with it.
That's a great point. Oh, I love this movie. My fifth thing is that not Martin, that's Toby Kebbell. Jimmy, have I been calling Jimmy Martin the whole time? Oops. But yeah,
no,
so
you haven't.
Okay, so Sam as Jimmy Dalton, when he is so in the beginning when he gives Ray a tour, he's like, "I'll tell you everything later." And when Ray comes back from his first mission, they kind of wipe his brain. They insert more nanobites into him, which looks amazing. They insert more into him. But while he's unconscious, he goes through Jimmy and tells Ray everything. Expository dump. But what sells it is when he walks away, he says, "I promised, I told you I would tell you everything." So it comes back. He's just been doing it over and over, and he loves doing it because he's not the man. Ray's the man. However, what I finally noticed is I always thought he was smacking gum, and it really annoyed me because I hate gum smacking in movies. He's munching on a protein bar during his dump on his expository dump on Ray, which makes me like him even more. It's just this big beefy guy eating a protein bar and yelling at Bloodshot. This makes me happy.
His dick.
Yeah, and he's just munching on a protein bar. He's got his sweet whey bar, and he's talking smack to a guy. But I just think the touch of eating a protein bar is funny. And also, I want to say, for Vin Diesel's part, and I don't know about the casting and what went down, but bringing on the dude from Outlander into your movie, smart. Because people, I've never watched it, but the audience, I guess it's pretty toxic from what he said. Some of it. I guess there's always good fan bases, but then there's also the ones who take it way too far. It's like the Joe Dirt fans who are crazy. No, I'm joking. But it's smart, because that's probably $10 million right there if the theaters would have stayed open. So I like that move that he brought him in there. But yeah, it's my protein bar. Because like, this dude's eating a protein bar while monologuing. Made me laugh.
Okay, so my I believe this is my last one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is my last one, number 5. It has to do with the flower fight. The movie never addresses all the damage, just the massive amount of damage Bloodshot does everywhere he goes.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
And so when I was watching the flower fight, I was like, what do you think the newspaper called this? Because like people had to go clean it up and like, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
And here are some names for the event and / the killer. The flower fighter.
Do you think they use flowery language while writing the thing?
Oh yeah, this headline's like peak tabloids, British tabloids. So I was like, flower fighter, or Judge Dredged, or the half-baked butcher.
Whoa, that's it, the half-baked butcher. The half-baked butcher of Flower Town.
I was just like, because like I think that's hilarious. It's like someone's like, we have to write about 15 men being killed, murdered in a tunnel with a bunch of flowers.
Imagine being the detective who gets the case, and you just so there's 48 mercenaries, 12,000 bullet shells, grenade shrapnel, headshots, flour, death, smush cars. And flour. Like what? I would quit.
I'm done, guys. I'm gonna go be a fisherman.
But yeah, it just made me happy. Seeing that made me okay. I just want to say real quick. And I also remember when we first watched this movie and Vin Diesel goes to kill Toby Kebbell, he just takes a truck that's randomly in the parking lot. What you're thinking, why is he doing that? And then he knows how to fly a plane and this, that, and the other. But I like the very simple yada yada. It's that they set it up, it's all in his mind, it's all digital. But he can also fly all these planes in his head because of the nanobites.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does actually fly the plane. But I love that it's the nanobites that do it. Not just, I flew one of these back in the day. Like the nanobites took control and learned for him. And that makes it so much more palatable with those two sentences to know.
All right, so I think we both did our 5. Do you have one more left?
Oh, I'm finally fully on board with how bored he looks while lifting weights.
Yeah, he's so surprised. That's funny. I have a kind of a bigger one that I didn't count as my 5 that I wanted to talk about, and maybe this will make me sound really ridiculous. Do you think the ending is real? Do you think like when I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, they're making a joke. Clearly they're riding off into the sunset. Then I watched it this time and I was like, oh wait, none of this is real. Like he got blown up and he's just recaptured.
Oh, I like to think that they're out and they're gonna go solve mysteries together, the 3 of them. I refuse to think that that's fake, because that would just change everything I think about this movie and make me really sad and just depressed. So I'm going with no, because I don't even want to think about that, David. This is horrible.
Yeah. The thing that this character is like, you could always just reset it. Like at any point, you could do Bloodshot and be like, you know what? That last move didn't happen. All programmed.
Yeah.
You never have to like follow continuity, honestly.
Oh man. No, I hope that it's all real, and that they're gonna go fight gigantic sea dragons, and KT can swim. Lamorne can stay in the van. He fought for the Kobe line, by the way, just to let you know. He's the one that kept the Kobe, like, because they wanted to get rid of it because it was released after Kobe's death, and so they were really justifiably sensitive about it. But he's like, no, we just got to honor him. We have to honor Kobe. So they kept that scene in. But I refuse. I refuse. That I feel 0.06% of my soul just died thinking that this might be fake, David, and I don't want to.
I mean, the next movie could start with KT breaking in to rescue him again.
Yeah. And then he's in the van.
Yeah.
I want to see them in a car, the 3 of them, just singing, I don't know, Despacito, or singing Bohemian Rhapsody, or Sixpence None the Richer. I just want to see the 3 of them in a car singing. That's what I want. Ooh. You know who the villain of the next movie should be?
Who?
Rosamund Pike.
That would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, she does villains really well.
I care a lot. Reunion.
You mentioned some behind the scenes stuff, and so there's 2 things I guess I can mention about behind the scenes. So the whole ending of the movie was redone at Sony's request, and what I read was that the original ending took place, or Dalton was killed in the water, the pool at the beginning, because Bloodshot destroyed his legs and then pushed him in the water and he drowned. And then Sony was like, can we make this ending bigger and less dark?
Oh, really? So then they did the elevator thing?
Yeah, that's how the elevator thing came about, because they're like, well, the director like clearly knows how to do really awesome video stuff, CGI stuff, so let's let him go ham.
Oh, I wonder if I don't have the. I get. Maybe we should try to get a hold of that.
I think they talk about it in the special features that was available with this. I didn't watch them. I don't know if the version I bought came with special features.
Because I bought it online when it was $20 and it didn't come with any special features. So I'd have to go buy the Blu-ray, which I probably should do. It's probably $10. Next year we can talk about that.
And then the other thing was there was supposed to be a in credit scene with another character from the Valiant universe showing up, a psychic, and Hoyata. He just showed up in my comics, so I don't know how to pronounce his name. But they cut it because they're like, we don't know if this is gonna be an actual universe.
Yeah, it's the worst when you say there's going to be a universe and it doesn't do well, and then they just make fun of your movie. So I think they made the right choice.
I mean, well, this is our second one we're covering where there's the universe fell apart. The other one was Dark Universe.
Yeah. Oh man, but this one's they're going to make a sequel. They will make a sequel. They better make a sequel. I want a sequel.
So,
give me a
Mark,
sequel.
I have a surprise for you.
Ooh.
It's a game.
Okay.
It's a new game. It's a variation of our old game. And for your new listeners, typically when I'm on, I will do a game of either or with an actor and give you what role with an actor. This game is going to be called Bloodshot or Dom, and I'm going to give you an actor, and you tell me if there would be a better Bloodshot or Dom.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Chris Evans.
Neither.
Neither. You got to pick Bloodshot or Dom.
I guess Dom, because Dom's kind of bossy and just sort of tells people what to do. And is sort of sanctimonious and is all about family and rules, and that's what Captain America was. So I'm taking that.
Yeah, interesting. I think he's Bloodshot.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think he has a softness to him that he can pull off. And I'm thinking Solaris. No, Sunshine. That's that version of Chris Evans.
Got it. Yeah, okay. He's good in that. Okay. And Sunshine.
Yeah. Number 2, Will Smith.
Bloodshot, because he has that openness to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He would be great.
Yeah,
He'd be good. He'd be open. And when he says thank you, I think he would be good at it. Love it. Bloodshot.
Okay. This is the wildest one. Betty White.
Oh man. Okay. She would have to be Dom.
Yeah.
Because she would have the family. She'd be great. She's tough. Betty White. Dom.
Betty White.
Hands
Dom.
down.
Yeah.
She likes tuna sandwiches. I'm wearing a Toretto's tuna sandwich shirt right now, actually.
Okay. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I mean, there is an action Hanks. When you watch News of the World, Saving Private Ryan, I think he would be a great Bloodshot, but you'd have to give him a different story.
Yeah.
Because imagine his character from Saving Private Ryan is frozen in a block of ice, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, he's frozen, so we'll just bring him back. And then they give him these nanobites. It would just be a different type of revenge. It would be not a Road to Perdition type of revenge, but it would be action Hanks. Bloodshot, hands down. It would be, oh man, I would love that.
I want to see him as Dom.
Yeah, just holding hands, drinking Corona, speeding in cars.
It's all about family. just like completely affable. Like, hit the nos. Okay, last one, Ashley Olsen.
Ashley Olsen. Ashley. So not Mary Kate, but Ashley.
No. Scarlet Witch herself.
Oh no, not Ashley. That's Elizabeth Olsen.
Yes, so I don't know why I did that. Yeah, Elizabeth.
I want to see her as Bloodshot. Give her another superhero role. Give her that role.
Yeah. Terminator role.
Yeah, oh yeah, make her there. Bring in okay. Keep Lamar Morris, keep KT, but then bring in Michael Pena and Walton Goggins. But she's still the star, of course. I'm not like making an ensemble film. Just bring in the cast from Ant-Man 3 and make her the star.
Yeah, put Walton Goggins in everything.
She'd be great. She could pull off Dom too. But I just want to see her as a Terminator. That'd be so cool. Because she has an openness about her that I think would work really well, like Vin Diesel has. Now my heart's broke. I just died a little bit inside knowing that we'll never get that movie.
Your heart's died multiple times during this episode.
I'm exhausted right now. Well, this was fun, man. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like this was a spicy rewatch too. We came with some hot facts, like hot takes on Ben Affleck being
this is great,
perfect for this role,
and a completely different episode than our first one too.
Oh yeah. And here's one that I didn't get to say related to Ben Affleck. Just so we're clear, I want Ben Affleck to be the new Terminator in the Terminator movies.
He should.
Yeah, he could totally do it.
Or Walton Goggins.
Yeah, well, that's the only two. No one in between.
And Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay. Well, we're gonna work on that script.
All right. All right. Well, hey, do you want to promote Award Wieners before we get out of here?
Yeah. I am the co-host of Award Wieners. It is a podcast, movie review podcast about Oscar-winning movies and hot dog recipes. It is highbrow meets lowbrow. Every episode, we go into a deep dive of a Best Picture winner and then make a hot dog recipe based off that film.
And go follow his Instagram page right now. You should have done it 10 minutes ago, but you should do it right now because there's really some nice, juicy content about Casablanca and Kid Rock songs.
Yes. Again, the entire brand is highbrow meets lowbrow. I'm never trying to be mean. It's always trying to have a good time.
Occasionally, things go over people's heads.
A lot. A lot. Yeah,
right.
I think I posted one yesterday, Mark, about Freddy Krueger living rent free in your brain, because in the movie he literally lives rent free in your brain and no one got it.
I got it. I loved it. Yeah, he lives in your brain and he doesn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Cheapskate. It's a crime. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you. We'll do this again next year.
Yeah. Bloodshot Bloodshot miss. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for David Cross, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.